Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Creative Finance Podcast. I'm your host, Jen.
I'm Joe.
And today we are so excited. We get asked all of the time, how would I go about the next 3 months, next 90 days? If I'm looking to get a deal and I'm just curious, what would that roadmap look like? We're going to break it down for you today. And I've got lots of tips and strategies that we find very useful.
Well, and I'm excited to go over this today too, because really when it gets started, the first thing that we really want to dive into is like, what is your why? Like, why are you doing this? Like, what kind of goals do you have? I know for me, it was I wanted to get more time with my wife, my kids. I didn't want to have to work the hours that I did at work because it wasn't a 9 to 5. It was more like a 9 to 9. I had to work a lot of hours.
It was crazy.
So I knew, first of all, for me, what was my why? So the first thing we always ask is, what is yours? What is your reasoning for even doing this?
And really take time on that. This is not something that you just think about and move on. Like, you write it down in multiple places, in a journal every morning, maybe with your coffee. You have it hanging up in the bathroom or on the way to work. You're kind of just reminding yourself, like, okay, this is what I'm going to work really hard every single day, because things sometimes get a little stressful and you're going to want to go back to that burning desire that we always talk about. So having that strong why is so, so important.
Yeah, and I think you need to have that destination, that goal, that what am I doing? Why am I doing this for? Or maybe it's who, right? Because it's not just, oh, it's why, but it's the who behind it too. I know for me, I grew up broke, but if I could live the life that I wanted to, it didn't always have to be like that. Not only for me, but for my wife and kids too. So I knew what my why was. Figure out what yours is. Super important to get you started, because that's the destination. And if you know where you're going, then it's just now getting there.
Yeah. And then the next part of that, we love social media. And so we can attest that thousands upon thousands of dollars can be spent on marketing. But when you're first getting started, use social media. And we're going to give you some really easy, simple, actionable steps to do right now. So first things first, dust off your Facebook profile if you haven't done so already, and make sure that you have a couple of key things on there. One, a smiling profile photo of yourself on your personal page. If it has just your dog or your cat, people are going to wonder, who are you? And so let's build some know, like, and trust factor there by just having a smiling photo of yourself. Next, you're going to audit your profile page.
Yeah. And I think the reason why we want to make sure that our profile page looks appropriate, because, there could be things in the past, like maybe college photos or whatever, it doesn't matter. But make sure you're there to know that you're here to do business. So we really want to focus on communicating, and you're going to have to communicate with other people. And there's no easier, better way than to connect with other people all around the globe, actually, but with social media. And so that's why we really dived into that, really building our social media page. So the big first step to do is make sure you're doing that dust off of your profile. Next step is you have to start now advertising that you buy houses. I usually start on my own personal page, letting the world know who I am. And you might get a couple likes. You might get some friends or family that are going to like it and support you. And that's wonderful. Even if you get none, doesn't make a difference. It's just you're making that post because people are going to go back and check it out. And if they've seen this photo or post from months ago, they're going to see that and reach out.
Yes. And then the next step is figure out where you're going to invest. We love starting in our backyard. And then once you have the area picked out, you're going to go join a bunch of Facebook groups. And we talk about this, but guys, it works.
Yeah. So what we love to do is we like to share posts into local Facebook groups. So pick your territory, usually where you live to start, but you could do this anywhere. That's the best part. So if I pick a city or a county or a community that I want to buy in, I'm going to join a ton of groups in that area. It's garage sale, it's yard sale, it's moving to the area. It could be singles looking for singles in that area. It don't matter. They're all support, or there's a lot of different groups there that will support your posts. So I think that's the key to it. Get started doing that.
Yeah. And the key is you're going to join these groups all month long, right? So that first month, you've got 30 days, like, get used to Facebook, play on it. It is a social media platform. So be social. So we are giving you permission to really take some time and can brand yourself, go into the groups, be a part of it, like answer people's questions, and just see if you can be a helping hand to anybody online, and then keep friending people on your personal page. And as you're doing that, the algorithm is going to reward you, because that's all about the organic reach here. So the happier you make Facebook by posting and telling people happy birthday and friending other people, is just going to lead to your post getting seen by more people. And that's really what's the key is here is you need a lot of eyeballs on your posts, because when you post in the Facebook groups, you're going to have people reach out. So a little tip here, make sure you keep an eye on your inbox. If you want to talk about that real quick.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is once you join these Facebook groups, you're going to make a post inside of these groups saying that you buy houses. And this is the point of this. And you're going to post regularly that you buy houses in all of these Facebook groups. So what's going to happen is some people might comment on your post, I'm looking to sell my house. One of the biggest deals that we ever did was just that. She just put right in the comment section, 900,000 and it's yours. Turned into a really great deal. So sometimes they don't. Sometimes they DM you a private message, and sometimes there's a spam folder, and you need to go check that spam folder, because I know before I knew this existed, I went back and there was so many missing messages where somebody reached out to me, but because we weren't friends on Facebook, it went to this other special folder. So you need to kind of look in your spam folder in Facebook Messenger to see these extra comments and these conversations where they've messaged you and you might have not noticed yet.
And then another little hack that we're going to give you, since we love our subscribers and listeners, so thanks for being here, is make sure that if you join a brand new group that you season your first post. Now, what do we mean by that, seasoning? It's really simple.
This is gold right here.
Yeah.
So maybe we joined moving to Florida group. Well, I'm going to write in that moving to Florida group, who's got the best key lime pie in town. And this is the test, to make sure that your first post doesn't come too business related. You're more interacting in the group, but also too, you're going to see how active the group is. I've had some posts where there was 200 people arguing with each other of who made the best key lime pie. That was a really active group. That was one group. I'm like, okay, when I post back in this group again, I'm expecting to get some interaction because it was really active. Some groups I might post in and not get as much. So this is a big key indicator of how active that group is. And that was like a yard sale community group. Now I might ask, where's the best men's haircut? Who makes the best pizza in town? All of these other little things. So I will make that post first before I post any other real estate, because then it almost looks like you're a normal, regular person. And maybe I'm moving to the area. Maybe I live there and I just moved there, right? So these are the things that will help your post not get flagged for spam right off the bat.
Yeah, because people love giving their opinions. So start out with something fun like that. People are very passionate about their key lime pie. That's
My
great.
gosh, especially down in Florida.
And you're going to pick up really quickly too, which are your active groups that you're going to want to kind of keep tabs on, because the next 2 months, you're going to be doing that same thing over and over and over again. You're going to be joining more groups. You're going to be posting in these groups, and you're going to continually be building out your social media presence. So moving into month 2, now's the time where you have to get a little comfortable with the camera. I get it, guys. It's not always feeling like, oh, that's what I want to do right now, but you have to get over yourself. That's how I did it. I know when I started going live on our buying page, I thought about the sellers waiting for me on my other page, on the other side of that page, just waiting to hear my story that I had to share with them. And I can attest that when I share stories of how I've helped other sellers becoming accidental landlords and everything else in between, they watch those videos, and it builds that trust factor and that credibility, and they come back for more. So as you are growing your brand and telling everybody who you are and what you do, by hitting that live button on your page, you can't fake that. It is so authentic. Let the dishes be noisy in the background. Let the dogs be barking. It's okay if the kids pop in. You're human. And honestly, most sellers we work with love the fact that we're not a big corporation.
Yeah, because the dog will be barking in the background. I'm like, oh, sorry, I have a dog. And so sometimes they might have the same thing. Like, no worries, I have a dog too, so I get it. And the point of it is everything online, you don't know who's who or what's what. So the more credibility you're going to give yourself is by just being a regular person and showcasing that, really opening up so they can see like they almost like you and know you just from your social media.
Yeah. And we know people and ourselves who spend $0 on marketing just by following these simple key steps of doing it consistently. So we're joining the groups, 5 to 10 groups every single week. We're posting in these groups. We're asking them our 10 questions that we give to you guys, and just keeping it really simple, but having it all laid out in a bit of a schedule so you know you're going to stick with it. And then comes the fun part, I would say, for you. I love that part of everything, generating leads, talking on the camera and all of that. But once the deals start coming in, you have to start looking at the numbers. So if you don't have our calculator yet, make sure that you drop below. We'll get you that, but you're going to have to analyze your deals. Do they even make sense?
Well, we have a very special calculator at that. Ours helps you break down when a seller says yes, they would be open to seller financing, or you're able to buy it with a wrap or subject to, is that a good deal?
Yeah.
So with our deal analyzing calculator, it helps you analyze that within under 5 minutes once you've collected the right information. And ours even gives you a way to supercharge your ROI just by adding rent to own, which is our favorite way once you own a property. But like what Jenn mentioned, really, it's about branding yourself in the beginning. It's about letting the world know who you are and what you're looking to do. And then it's about actually marketing yourself, marketing what you're looking to do. So this is what every small company or big company, this is what they all desire to do. You can do it for free by using social media. So your footprint is going to be huge just by posting a little bit, but do it consistent. And that's really the key. I know when we first got started, we had a post that was like every Tuesday. It was on our calendar. And we would go live for 15 minutes. And it was really just starting to build that brand of people reaching out. But then once they do, it's now down to crunching numbers and making sure that the deal doesn't make sense or yes or no. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. So if you haven't already, make sure, like Jenn mentioned, get that deal analyzing calculator. It's for free, but you're going to be able to use this. And it takes me about 5 minutes to fill that out and say, is this a good deal or is this not a good deal, right? And you're going to be doing other things like learning how to do comps, right? By looking at some similar sales that have recently happened in that neighborhood. And you're going to want to know to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples when running comps. Like that stuff's really important. So taking the time to really work at your craft is super important. So when you do talk to a seller, you have your affairs in order and you understand what you're doing. And I think that's where sometimes we fail, is because we try to fake it until we make it. And this isn't one of those things we want to fake till we make. So we really want to understand some of these really key concepts. The other thing I think is big is looking at rental comps. All right, what do houses rent for in this area that are similar to what I'm looking at buying? Because this is going to help you determine how great of a deal this is too. So I think those are probably some of the real big things you're going to want to learn. Even as
that in negotiations, really getting good at asking your sellers the right questions, and just like you said, getting the information to plug into your calculator and see if you have to go back to Mr. Seller and say, hey, in order for this to make sense, to make it work for both of us, we've got to do X, Y, or Z. Yeah,
we have one of those we're doing today. And you hit it right on the head. When you're negotiating, what we've learned by some of the best negotiators all over the history is you want to actually ask great questions and have the seller make you the offer.
Yeah.
And so that's the greatest thing about the way our scripts work. We always want to make sure we're asking every question. So not only do we gather the right information, which is really important to know, but also too, they're going to make me the offer. And then if that offer is great, that's one thing. If it's not, but you can counter offer, well, that's where we make an offer. And our offers are counter offers. And that's what you really want to get good at. How many offers are you making a day? How many offers are you making a week? If you're only making one offer a year, well, then it might take you a little time to get a deal.
Which is okay, but
nothing
keep
wrong
that
with
in
that.
mind.
But make more offers. You'll get deals that way.
Yeah, especially in those first 2 months. Allow yourself some grace. There's a learning curve, but the best thing to do is to go out and practice. So, moving into month 3, your last 30 days here of the 90 days, if you're really trying to stay focused, you're really going to move into that advanced deal management. So at this point, you should have some follow-ups. So you've been generating the leads. You got to go back and make sure that you're staying in contact with the people that you've been talking to. But now it's also still join more Facebook groups and be posting consistently that ad asking, does anyone have a house not market ready? Like, this is something I always say, it's wash, rinse, repeat. You have to do that part over and over again to get the results that you're looking for. So don't sleep on that. And really, it's just, making sure that you're talking to more sellers each and every day.
Well, and I think too, as you think of any big brand, like they don't just market one time. You don't hear McDonald's ad once or twice and then you never hear it again. It's consistently. So it's the same thing for you. There you go. But it's the consistency that you're going to need to do. So don't get one deal-itis where maybe you have a deal that you think and you stop doing all the other things like generating new leads. And then that deal doesn't work out and you're back to ground one again. So always, no matter what, you're joining new groups, you're making your posts, you're talking to sellers, and the best sellers are going to move to the front of the line, but you're still keeping that part going no matter what. Don't ever stop doing that. Just keep that generating.
Yeah, you never want to put all your eggs in one basket or one deal and just, think it's going to close for sure, because crazy things happen. So you always want to just never take your foot off the gas pedal with your lead generation. So you're still going to go live on your Facebook. You're still going to be posting on Facebook, but also start taking it really seriously. When you close your deal, do you have your LLC set up? Do you have all of your affairs in order when it comes to that, the right agreements, having that support in place so that when it comes time to have everything okayed by the seller and you take it to the title or the attorney, like that all needs to be thought out too. So make sure you have everything in order there as well.
Yeah, so you're going to want to know who is the preferred attorney or a title company who knows how to handle that closing. Who are you going to use for insurance once you do buy the property? Is there somebody that you know that offers homeowner insurance who knows how to especially do it this way? So these are some of the things you want to build your village around you. You're going to want to find out who's going to be the one that helps you. The paperwork. The paperwork, oh my gosh, that was like probably one of the first challenges I had was dealing with the paperwork. And there was many times where I was
before DocuSign.
I was locked in the office. I might have had the radio loud so Jen couldn't hear me cry or yell, or both at the same time because it was so hard and challenging. So to have that already kind of set and you already know what you're doing there is a big key. So if you don't know how to do that, find somebody who does and they can help you with that because it could be really easy peasy. And this is one of the things we've prided ourselves on and how easy it is now.
Yeah. So
thank goodness for technology and all the other things.
I know. And now it's really easy too, because when you are okaying your paperwork with your seller, you just pull up the DocuSign, you hop on a phone call, you read through it with him or her, and everybody can sign electronically. You send it over to the attorney or title company, and then it goes into their hands. So once that closes and they do their work and it's a high five all around, guys, that's a huge win. You did your first deal. So remember to really celebrate that. I'll never forget our first deal that we first did with seller Steve, and from the purchase and sale agreement to the actual closing table,
the closing, everything. It was just like one of these wow experiences. So it was really, really cool.
And again, you just don't know who you're really going to help. Our first seller had accidentally inherited a house from his grandfather when he passed, and now he's an accidental landlord. So he was so relieved that Joe and I came in and took over his home, and he didn't have to worry about anything. He didn't have to worry about listing it, cleaning it, people trampling through it, and we were really a relief to him. So just think about that. Who could you be helping if you just start taking the action, and in the next 90 days, you could be closing on a deal. So it's really important to stay focused, stay motivated. And if you need free leads, make sure you head to our website right now. Go download our free lead generator, which is the blue ad we always talk about. That's the exact wording you're going to use in your Facebook post. There's a little guide there to walk you through everything. So if you need that, go grab it right now. Creative Finance Playbook.
And that's going to get you guys started generating leads today. You're going to be able to talk to sellers. Our script is right in there. You're going to generate leads. You're going to talk to sellers. And this is how you're going to make the deals happen. And no matter what, don't ever stop generating more leads because if that one deal falls through, it could be heartbreaking. But if you have 5 more coming your way that maybe have some potential to it, it makes it way easier to get over the one and just keep that thing moving. So get leads, keep branding yourself. Talk to sellers, help these people because some of them actually need help. So spend your time with the people who actually need the help and see what you can do to help them out in their real estate problem. And they are out there everywhere around the country. This isn't just work in one neighborhood or not. It works everywhere, guys. There's people who have houses in very high-end properties, middle of the road, and even the low-end properties too. So you're actually providing a service. We're making neighborhoods better sometimes. And it's a wonderful thing to give back to the community and help people.
Absolutely. And you can't fail if you don't quit. So remember that it's your timeline. So don't put yourself into a crazy tizzy, right? Like don't worry about, anyone else. It's you and yourself and your business. And this could be something that you work on for a little while. And when you eventually get that first closing, tell us below. We'd love to hear that. We're so excited to just continue on as we are able to use real estate as a vehicle to be able to live life on our terms. And it's so rewarding to be able to help others. So if you have any questions below, otherwise go grab that free lead generation and we'll talk to you guys later.
See you guys.